How's it going, everyone? This is Brian and welcome back to the Tech Stack Playbook, your guide to apps, software, and tech, but in a fun way, I promise. We are back with a video and I have been diving into so many really cool things, and I'm going to I have a whole content plan for the whole year, mainly focusing on cloud and blockchain, and this video specifically is just an intro into that series. It was actually inspired. I did a 3-hour Solidity course a few weeks back. It got a ton of really great reviews from the people that took it, so I'm really grateful for everyone that was able to see it, and I'm going to be slow rolling that type of content onto YouTube because it just got a ton of really great feedback and I'm just really excited about it. And I've been diving into everything from AWS, Amplify, DynamoDB, different databases, and then even with blockchains, I've been using Memorialize, Solidity, I've been using Alchemy, I've been using a ton of different tools to help build dApps and apps for the cloud and dApps on blockchain. So I'm just really excited to be throwing more content your way and making this content really accessible so that other people can get into the field as well. So today we're going to be talking about DAOs, otherwise known as Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. So what does that mean? So a DAO is really just any sort of public entity united around membership. So you could think of a DAO like a publicly traded company or even privately traded company where the shareholders own a certain amount of equity or stock in the entity, and that gives certain governance power or certain abilities to do certain things. So a great example of this would be being a shareholder of a company. For example, Berkshire Hathaway has an annual investors conference, right? So by being a shareholder, you're able to then go to that conference and then maybe vote in any sort of rules or regulations that they are putting out for their membership. So by having that token, right, that share, that access, you're able to then have governance over the decision-making power of the organization. So that's just an example of how you'd be able to have a token that then enables you with certain privileges that you can have as opposed to someone who maybe is a supporter but isn't an investor, isn't an invested party in the company. So I'm going to be showing you in a little bit what voting in a DAO looks like. I'm a member of Developer DAO. It is one of my favorite DAOs. I love the community, I love the energy, I love the developer vibes, and oh my gosh, the people that are in this DAO are just so smart, and I've been learning about so many different tools from Third Web to Memorialize to Chainlink, writing smart contracts. Austin Griffith, he is the creator of Scaffold ETH, so I was learning about that open source project. The amount of talent that is in this community is just insane, and I'm just so grateful for everyone that is contributing to this, being a part of it. I've been actually a part of several projects in the DAO, and it's been so exciting to just meet other amazing developers from around the world. And I wanted to actually show you what voting in a DAO actually looks like, specifically because when you vote in a DAO is a great example of governance that's decentralized. So of course, being able to have a company where everyone is a shareholder to a certain extent. Google also is another example of that type of governance. So they have Class A stock, which is really reserved for the founders, and then they have Class B and also Class C stock. So that means less, or basically the voting power is significantly less compared to the founders. So with Class B stock or Class C stock, that is disproportionately lower in voting power than the Class A shares. So it allows a certain type of governance for Alphabet as the parent company. So when you think of a DAO, you could sort of think of there's going to be a certain number of shares that's going to be distributed out as an NFT or a non-fungible token. So there's different standards of NFTs. There's 721, there's 721 Slim, there's 1155. There's different types of NFT token standards. And when you mint one of those tokens, you're going to be able to create a governance. Let's say you have a vote. We're going to create, 100 tokens for membership. That'll mean that there's 100 governance members that are a part of it, and each person ideally would have one token. But if someone had 2 tokens, they might have 2 votes as opposed to 1. So the overall goal of the NFTs is to create a decentralized, immutable, and publicly verifiable governance structure so that people who own one of these NFTs could then vote or have a say in what the organization does. So it's a very transparent, accessible, immutable, verifiable, traceable way to manage an organization's governance and government. So it's a very innovative, cool way of using blockchain and open source technologies to then create governance structures, uniting people around common causes. And I think that that's really exciting, because when you think of how you create a governance around an organization or a club, you could use NFTs as that ticket into that membership to then allow for certain governance. And what I'm going to be showing in a little bit is Snapshot is a tool that you can use for DAOs or any organization. So let's say that the people all own a certain NFT. So everyone gets one vote. You'd be able to use Snapshot to then have immutable governance and voting that goes on chain that's immutable by way of having that NFT or that token. So I thought that was a really innovative and interesting way of creating ballots or creating governance proposals. And even being able to have one of those tokens might enable you to pass a proposal forward to the membership. So if you have governing power, you might be able to propose a proposal for other people to vote on as well. So it's pretty exciting that these tools are so accessible to us right now, with blockchain and Web3 being so new. So I really wanted to share that with you all and just show what it looks like when you vote on a certain proposal. And one of the cool things that actually I was able to get from voting in one of these proposals on Snapshot was a POAP. And if you haven't heard of POAP, POAP is a type of token. It's an ERC721 token called Proof of Attendance Protocol. And what they do is they memorialize events, life events, milestones, or just times and places. And what's really cool is that they NFTify those events and those milestones. So let's say that it's your first time voting in the DAO. You'd be able to create a POAP NFT around that exciting event. So let's say that you have an annual shareholder meeting for your membership. You might be able to create a POAP for all of those people that contributed to that event. Maybe there's a group of people that were governing and it helped put it together. That might be a separate POAP. You might be able to create a POAP for specific members who voted in that and attended. So there's tons of opportunity for specific POAPs to be created, but their bread and butter is creating POAP NFTs around specific events and milestones. And to me, POAP is the quintessential blockchain project and protocol, because it just captures everything that I love about blockchain. Because when you can just create NFTs and create events and milestones and then reward people for being a part of that, people love being able to, take tickets that they went to a concert, or they went to, a certain event, or they went to a conference, and then they, maybe have the lanyard, or maybe they have the ticket, and maybe they frame it. But you can't take it with you. You have to put it somewhere, and it's in a physical location, and it might stay on a wall, never to be seen unless you take a photo of it and show it to someone, or you bring people over and you show it to them, and they have to go and see it to actually believe it, right? Well, with a POAP and really NFTs in general, you'd be able to just take your phone and just show that to someone, and you'd be able to prove and verify that you actually were there at that specific event, that you were there in attendance, that you did contribute or you did participate in all of the excitingness of what was going on at that time. And it's sort of, you have the story to tell, but then you also have the receipt, you have the proof of it. And POAP makes that so accessible. And they mint the POAP NFT on a sidechain called the xDai sidechain. So it is a layer 2 solution on Ethereum that works in tandem to the chain. So if you think of it, right now, gas prices on the Ethereum mainnet are really expensive. You need gas to be able to mint or to put data onto the public blockchain. So what POAP did, instead of having their POAPs go onto mainnet, they put them onto the xDai sidechain. So it's just a layer 2 solution that scales with Ethereum that you could migrate from the sidechain onto the main chain. But it's just a sidechain that lowers gas by fractions, by pennies on the dollar, to be able to allow mass minting of these NFTs without incurring huge debts and huge costs to the minter. And also the POAP team is gracious enough to be supporting the minting and the prices. So huge shout out to the POAP team for even being able to do that for folks. I know that that's really important for folks. So it's just, they really are enabling people to have access to these NFTs and to these exciting moments in blockchain and Web3. So something that is really cool about the xDai sidechain is that you're able to then mint these POAP NFTs onto that sidechain, and then you'd be able to verify and use them as you would any sort of NFT that's on the blockchain. And those NFTs are able to then be, you have them a part of your wallet, you'd be able to take them with you, you'd be able to show them off, you'd be able to see them. In a little bit, I'm gonna actually show you what it looks like to vote on Snapshot, being a part of a DAO, having a certain NFT, and then I'm going to get a POAP as a reward for voting on that specific proposal. So I hope you're excited for that. This is going to be pretty cool for maybe some of you that haven't seen DAO-based governance voting, or maybe are interested in decentralized voting and governance structures. So yeah, I hope you're excited to see this, and I'll roll the video next. All right, so if you're looking at my screen, you should see Snapshot, and snapshot.org is a website where you're able to create organizations publicly and then allow for immutable voting for anyone that is authorized to vote in a given group or organization. So we're going to check out, for example, Gitcoin. So they have different funding requests, they have different budget requests, they have something about accountability flow. Basically, all of these are just proposals that different people have put out through the community. So I see that there is a specific user who proposed this funding request. There is some sort of process, it looks like. So there's some sort of maybe a description, maybe some KPIs that they want to be tracking, and just a TLDR, too long, didn't read, what's the heads up about this project. So what's really cool about Snapshot and really just this decentralized way of voting is that you're able to bring on different organizations into it. It's all uploaded to IPFS, which is the Interplanetary File System. It is a blockchain-based storage option for blockchain data, specifically because blockchain data is really expensive if it's on chain. So IPFS was created to circumnavigate that by being able to upload files to a decentralized web that could then connect to deterministic blockchain technology. So it's pretty cool and definitely worth checking out more if you're interested in storage and ways to put information online. So in terms of the voting system, you can specify the type of voting, and then there is a start date, there's an end date, and then there's a snapshot. And you're actually able to see this on Etherscan. And Etherscan is just a tool for checking out data on the blockchain, or really any blockchain, but we're specifically on the Ethereum scan. And you're able to see exactly on the timestamp when this was all put on the blockchain, even the block reward, who it was mined by, the difficulty, the size of that transaction, putting it on chain, the gas limit, the burnt fees, the ether price at that time, even the hash number, and the parent hash and the nonce, and really all of the information about this being on chain. So then you're also able to see very transparently how many votes something got compared to how many votes something didn't get. And then you're able to even scroll down and see all of the other people that voted on this. What did they say? So this is really cool because this is blockchain in action. This is one of the really great use cases of blockchain technology, is being able to see votes and verify votes for governance on chain in real time. And you're able to actually see how many people are contributing. And one of the things that I specifically want to show you all was the developer DAO proposals, because I'm a member of developer DAO. I'm a huge fan of the DAO and I love all of what they're doing. And what's really cool about this is you're able to then vote on different proposals, as well as submit a new proposal if that is something that's of relevance or importance, or if you're able to do that. So I've joined Developer DAO. I'm a part of this Snapshot organization, and something that I recently just voted on was of basically allowing for non-voting membership. So being able to give out a governance token for being a part of the DAO. And this is the code token. And I thought this was important because it's going to help to enable more access to the developer community. And I just thought that would be really important for the space. And yeah, you'll even see here. So in the summary, it just ratifies that there's a support to allow the NFT to give Discord access while keeping the snapshot for governance token issuance. So I have the Genesis token, but I definitely wanted to be able to allow more people to be a part of this upcoming token. So I thought that that would be a really cool way to, increase awareness of the DAO and bring in more people, and just sort of managing the membership and everything. So I thought that this was really cool. And one of the awesome benefits of Snapshot is being able to be a part of the voting process of organizational activities. This is similar to when companies have shareholder meetings and then you have a certain amount of governance to vote. So maybe you're able to elect a shareholder or someone who's going to be providing votes for the group. Or maybe there's a certain initiative that is community driven and the company will be adopting it or not. So Snapshot enables this same type of governance structure, but you get to vote amongst a whole bunch of other people that are also contributing to the same goal. So in this specific vote, you'll see that this is specifically about the coin that is going to be a governance token. However, the NFT is still, if you support it, it would be supporting non-voting memberships. So you'd still be able to be a part of, the Discord, and the DAO. But really, the coin or the token would be the part of it that's granting the membership. And if you oppose it, then you would still want the NFT to be part of governance. So by voting in this, I got a POAP NFT, which is super cool. This looks really slick, by the way. Like, I'm a huge fan of look at that design. Like, let's zoom in this thing. Zoom in on this baby. Look at this. Like, doesn't that look cool? Like, whoever designs these developer DAO things is just amazing. Like, just the talent in this DAO is just hands down the coolest. And you see the little POAP logo there. So we're going to mint this and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to mint this and it's going to mint to my collection. And we're going to wait for it to mint. Look at that. It minted to my collection. Okay, so let's see what I got. Browse the collection. Look at that. All right, cool. So we zoom in, check this out. So that's our POAP. So this is that, and this is the specific. Oh, doesn't that look so cool? I can open this up in another image to actually see it. Just a little bit bigger. But I thought that the design of it is just so cool. And this is pretty cool because POAP is an amazing protocol where you're able to verify your attendance at events. So sort of like concert tickets that you can take everywhere you go, or memorializing that you went to something or that you attended something. My first POAP was the ETH Boston Hackathon NFT. So this is like that, but this is verifying that I voted in something. So this is an action as opposed to an event. But you can use POAPs to memorialize almost anything. Anything from an event to an action you took to a group setting, any sort of setup, the start of something or a continuation of something. Really anything could theoretically be considered a POAP. And it's really cool because you're able to then incentivize people to participate in governance structures or be a part of memberships or participation, because you're able to then give them an NFT or give them some sort of memorialization of their efforts or their rewards. But Snapshot is really cool for that because they provide integration into, a reward system for POAP, for example. So it's very customizable, and I thought that was very cool. And I wanted to share that with you all because it's interesting to see how you can create governance systems publicly on the blockchain and then enable people to vote in those things and be a part of the governance process. I think one of the best aspects of Web3 too is having everything built as you go. And one of the cool things with Developer DAO was creating this timeline for season 0. So it basically ending on January 12th and then making it where it ended in March 12th to give time for some of the core decisions that the DAO is creating. So just in terms of ratifying tokenomics, the token launch, refining the structure and supporting growth, governance procedures, recognizing rewards, contributions, and really just how we're planning out just events with partners and everything. So that's also just another thing that was really cool, that you could have sort of proposals around the amount of time for certain actions or certain decision makings to happen, and it all can be happening publicly, which I think is really cool. So yeah, this is just another one where we get a POAP for voting in this one. So this was supported and I had supported it. So we're gonna mint this, and it's gonna now be minted on the xDai sidechain of Ethereum, which is what the POAP NFT goes on. And we're gonna wait for it to mint, and then it's right there. So this adds my collection. So that's just another example of a vote that you could put on Snapshot, and then POAP could then be a way to create an incentive for the members to vote to basically drive actions forward. All right, so I hope you thought that that was pretty cool. There is so much opportunity right now in Web3 and in the blockchain space in general. So I'm really excited to be sharing more content like this with you this coming year. And if you have any ideas or you have thoughts on what type of content you'd like to see, I definitely want to provide that. I had a YouTube video a couple weeks back. It was just a short, but it went pretty viral. It got around 2,400 views, which was like crazy to see. And I had people commenting on it, as well as on TikTok and on Instagram. I had cross-promoted it on those other channels too. And just seeing people's comments of what they want to see. People wanted to learn about their smart contracts. They want to learn about how to build dApps. They wanted to learn what are the tools it takes to become a blockchain developer. And I also had another reel that actually went pretty viral too on cloud. And people wanted to know, what is cloud computing? How do I learn how to deploy something to the web? What are the certain types of databases or backends for serverless architectures that I need to know to be a cloud architect? So there's just so much stuff that I was kind of trying to see what other people wanted me to make content around, and it's been really helpful because I got to get a lot of really great insights and a lot of great visibility into what you all are interested in. So yeah, just feel free to drop me a line in case you want to hear more content, specifically any topics that you're interested in. I'd love to share those with you all. And yeah, look forward to getting your messages then. And yeah, until next time, I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you all next time. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.